Tonight at 9, new controversial news about philosophers being linked together with a new book called The 6 Degrees of Separation. Brandon.
Thank you, Lewis. The 6 Degrees of Separation is a new book that was constructed by the most famous documents of all time, and how they link together, such as the Republic by Plato, the Magna Carta, the Petition of Rights, the Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes, two treaties by John Locke, and the American Bill of Rights, as well as the Declaration of the Rights of Women. The book starts out in 360 BC. Plato constructed a series of documents, but one of his best works, the Republic, had a huge influence on many of the documents made worldwide. The Republic explained about a society that he believed in called Utopia. In the document, Utopia would be ruled by philosophers. Utopia is a defining society. What I mean by that, it's a perfect society to live in. Everything is well organized and fair. For instance, the rulers would be the top of the pyramid, because the rulers were philosophers and the wisest people. The next in the line would be the soldiers. The reason why is because the soldiers would risk their lives and protect the farmers and merchants and the rest of the community. The community was in the bottom of the pyramid, but that did not mean that they were slaves, peasants, low class. See, in the Republic, Plato explained that everyone has equal and balance of power. So he also explained how the people's personalities would determine whether they're a ruler, a citizen, or a soldier. That would balance out everything. Isn't he an amazing man, people? And now Lewis.
Thank you, Brandon. And now we go to Edgar downtown, interviewing a #1 fan of the new book, The 6 Degrees of Separation.
Okay, thanks, Lewis. Interestingly enough, I haven't finished the book, but I'm at the part at the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was created in 1215, and it issues many laws like habeas corpus. Okay, habeas corpus was designed to make the English community happy, and so that people wouldn't be imprisoned unfairly. And that also relates to the Petition of Rights, which later goes on to the book, and that's where Karen is at. It relates to Plato's theory of equal rights to every man, because he believed that every man should have equal rights, and the three branches, which were the community, the soldiers, and the rulers, which were the wise people, should have balanced power in order to have utopia. And in the Magna Carta also, they believe that they should have equal powers as the king, so that they shouldn't create riots in the streets. Alright, okay, so here I am with the 6 Degrees of Separation's #1 fan.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I love this book. This book is awesome.
So, Karen, where did you leave off in the book?
Well, I left off where it says the Petition of Rights was written by the English Parliament in 1628 to address the issue of Charles I. This relates to Magna Carta because you know how it states that people shouldn't be arrested for no reason. When Charles I was ruling England, the Petition of Rights states that the people should not be taxed without the England consent. Supposedly they couldn't imprison people just because they just wanted to. Like, for example, I'm chewing bubble gum or something, they just arrest me for it, but you know, can't do that. It also states that people shouldn't be taxed unfairly without actually the consent of Parliament or without representation, basically. So yeah, the Leviathan also has a link to the Petition of Rights because Thomas Hobbes contradict the Petition of Rights by using the information.
Okay, alright, we'll go back to you, Lewis.
Thank you, Edgar and Karen. Now we go back to Brandon.
Thank you, Lewis. We are sitting here today with one of the authors of the book, Arcelia, or is it Arcelia?
It's Arcelia.
Arcelia Martinez. What was the contribution to the book that you have written?
I read the part of the book that connects the Leviathan to the Petition of Rights. Both of the authors of the books believed that people should be asked for things that they want, like taxation, that people got tired of the taxation without representation and forced imprisonments. Thomas Hobbes believed that people were naturally bad, and that to be good they had to give up their natural rights, which contradicts everything that the Petition of Rights states.
Thank you.
Another connection I found in the 6 Degrees of Separation was between the two treatises by John Locke in 1689 and the Leviathan written by Thomas Hobbes in 1651. The connection is that in the two treatises it states the right for the people to overthrow political power and government laws that they wouldn't disagree with. And then in the Leviathan it talks about the people's natural rights to bread and fair treatment. From the two treatises to the future, it can influence the American Bill of Rights because John Locke believed that everyone had the God-given right and that the Bill of Rights, and that's what the Bill of Rights is all about. And the First Amendment talks about the freedom of speech, which John Locke deeply supports, with the people having the right to get political power and revolt. Thank you.
The American Bill of Rights was constructed by James Madison. It was made from 1789 to 1791. He wrote this document because the conflict between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists would fight over which branch would have more power than the other. James Madison also wrote this document to limit the power of the federal government. The main ideas of this document is to protect the rights and the natural rights of all people within the 13 colonies. In the Bill of Rights, it has a series of amendments that are like laws that explain rights to people. For example, the freedom of speech. The other reason why they made this is so that people won't start another revolution. This document was influenced by the English Bill of Rights. It was written in 1689, and some of the amendments in the English Bill of Rights are in the American Bill of Rights. For example, the right to petition. The right to petition was basically the right to give the king or ruler a petition issuing the wrongdoing in the community. The document that was influenced by the Bill of Rights is the Declaration of Rights of Women. They are both similar and related because in both of the documents the laws created were to protect and enforce the natural rights of people, in this case women.
Oh. We brought Geraldine, one of the authors of the book, here to talk about it.
The Declaration of the Rights of Women, which was written by Aloute de Gouges in 1791, also has the same main ideas of the Bill of Rights, which was written by James Madison. The main idea was protecting the rights of all people, which should include women too, which is what the Declaration of the Rights of Women were for. That protected their rights of liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression.
Thank you. Thank you. Louis, do you have anything to say about this?
Thank you, Edgar. I'd like to recommend this book, The 6 Degrees of Separation, to all you young readers out there.
You know, this reminds me of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, Louis. So that's it for today. See you tomorrow at 9.
Breaking news! Barack Obama, the United States favorite, has lost the presidential race due to John McCain, the Republican, somehow winning.
No!
Good night, America. Best to rap about newscasting. So it's like... So I was a newscaster, and I had to do this project in world studies about these philosophers being linked together through 6 degrees of separation. There. This one, because it still has water in it. Okay, ready? So it's probably like...
Dude, we can't use that as a blooper.